Straight from the edge, it's time for some nighttime drama. Bringing the best WaterCooler series talk. Over on Grand Hotel, the last episode, the balcony was coming crashing down on Javi and Ingrid. And fortunately, they're alright. And Santiago, he's heading in the ambulance with his son, and he's having flashbacks from when he lost his leg, and he's kind of split between the two times, and it's obviously dredging up a lot of memories from that time period. And so the next morning, Alicia and Santiago, they head over to see Javi, and they're so serious. He's like, did I lose the other leg? And he obviously is making light of the situation, and just taking everything with a grain of salt. And Ingrid, she ended up being okay too, and was absolutely beautiful at the hospital with dust all over and everything. And so Alicia and Santiago are bringing Javi back, and obviously he's got the pill problem to deal with. And so they're trying to keep him away from that and realize that he needs to detox. And Santiago he blocks him in the room and says, we're going to get you cleaned out, and then you got to go to rehab. And obviously Javi was reluctant at first, but Santiago started to share his regret and guilt over Javi losing the leg, because going back, Javi had seen Gigi and Santiago kissing shortly after his mom had passed, and he was obviously hurt by it, and they weren't obviously forthcoming. And Javi had gotten drunk, and he came back to the hotel, and his dad was mad at him and everything, and he threw the keys back at him. Well, of course, Javi was 16, he drove off and got in a wreck, and Santiago, out of anger, had put his son in danger, and he feels responsible for having done that, and he's a father supposed to protect his son. And Javi, realizing that this had all transpired, didn't blame his dad, but was grateful that he'd shared through the night that. So you'd also had Jason. He'd gotten some edibles for his dad, and his mom, Helen, actually ended up getting him out of the fridge, and I think they were cookies or something. But so she was trying to diffuse this influencer situation at the hotel, and this guy's followers, so that they come or whatever. And so she's bending over backwards to try to do stuff, and she ends up dancing on the bar and everything. And it seems like Mateo takes care of the influencer for her, but through all this, Gigi is able to take advantage of Helen's situation and get more information about the relationship between Mateo and Santiago. And of course, Helen's just thinking that there's somebody she can actually talk to about it, so she spills everything. And Gigi's like, oh, okay, even though she's not really clued in on any of it. But that was pretty fun to watch. And then you had Yoli getting to meet her dad. So Carolina had told her before that she was in contact, and so she brought her to the seedy motel that they were at, and or that their dad was at. And so Felix obviously is trying to reconnect with Yoli, and Yoli had been really close with her dad, and so she felt really hurt when he left. And but he had one of his buddies pretend to be an FBI guy to sell the story, and so that they could get him to go to the hotel. And anyway, just good stuff, dynamic between the three of them. You also had Ingrid lose a baby, unfortunately, and Mateo showed a little bit of humanity and trying to comfort her a little bit. And there's maybe a little spark still between them, and he's realizing what he lost as far as a possible family. And he's such a cold person in the things he's done to people that it's nice to see another side of him creeping through, that is warm and actually maybe cares for somebody. And what else? Danny does rule out Javi as a suspect in Sky's disappearance from the night of the hurricane, because it seems like Jason had overheard Ingrid had told him that Javi was passed out the entire night and that she was with him. And so this allows Danny to go all the way with Alicia, and because he was worried, obviously, that the family had more problems in his sister's disappearance. But so, they pop out the Camila Cabello, and, they just timed everything just right. And overall, good episode. Keep on researching.